So
Dude,
Craven
no.
tweets, if you want G6 coverage, support G6 coverage, which means this podcast, folks. Support this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, you see him writing about G6 guys all the time?
Yeah, something like that. He, I think, I think he writes enough about Texas State. I think he does an okay job for what we've given him.
For what the athletics department has given him. Through
Yeah,
no fault of Andrew Zimmel or Jacob Rodriguez.
no, no.
Tap, tap, tap in. This is the only awkward part about going live, is that like I have to like promote us now,
Mm-hmm.
and then. But I will say, since maybe we'll have some like cross-platform guests and things like that, because shout out Chris Killmeyer joining the Texas State Bobcats from Cleveland State. We'll get into that as soon as we start the show. But just in case you were wondering, is Texas State a bigger deal than Cleveland State, like some of those guys are? Squaring Around has like almost double the amount of followers on YouTube than Cleveland State does.
That's crazy to think about. That's hard to believe.
I don't think so at all. I don't even know where they play in, dude. It's ridiculous.
Cleveland State. I'm gonna guess Cleveland. Am I right?
What'd you say?
I said I'm gonna guess Cleveland.
Oh,
That's where they play.
dude, I think you're being a little presumptuous.
Yeah.
Huge guess. They're from Cleveland?
Tired of winning the tailgate but losing the games? We can't help that. But we can tell you what the hell is up with each team and what's going on across sunny San Marcos. Texas State fans, get on your feet. You're listening to Squaring Around with Jacob Rodriguez and Andrew Zimmel.
I was right. Cleveland, Ohio. Where they play their basketball. Cleveland, Ohio.
Squaring Around episode more than 200, might be 300 at this point, since I'm not even cataloging these episodes at this juncture in time. I'm sorry I've been busy, but guess what? This is the week of the resurrection of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Squaring Around, coming at you live on a Wednesday. I know last week we kind of had like a funky episode week. If you didn't watch Sunday's live, now recorded episode, that one still has some relevant information, but we're going to get to a lot. As always, with me now is Andrew Zimmel, the Texas State Sports Prez. And Andrew, the athletics department unequivocally hates us because we recorded that episode on Sunday. Guess what? Boom. News alert yesterday. Women's basketball hires head coach Chris Killmeyer out of Cleveland State. You did some research. You looked across the globe, searching far and wide for history on this team. Where do they play?
Cleveland.
Whoa, hey,
Cleveland
there
State
you go.
plays in Cleveland, which is huge for us when it comes to geography type of thing. No, it's been cool. Like we were talking on Sunday, hey, who are they going to hire? What's going to be the move? And we said like, okay, I was expecting, I'm hoping that it was going to be Blair Schaefer, the UT assistant coach, daughter of Vic Schaefer. That was my hope. But they went out and they got a very, very successful Division II, Division III women's basketball coach. He has a national championship at the Division III level. He's one of the winningest coaches in the state of Ohio when it comes to women's basketball. So this is it's a good hire. I don't think anybody can say differently that it's not a good hire.
All this dude does is win, apparently. His all-time head coaching record is 596 to 196.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes, if you look at the course of his career, it looks like this is where he wants to make a significant, like, I don't even know what the heck word I'm trying to say. Like, chapter, maybe? Like,
Yeah, I would say so. Every place he's been at for a good amount
like
of time.
a major stop for him, though. And we've been kind of going
Yeah.
back and forth with some fans online. They were like, hey, is Texas State even like a step up? Seems kind of like a lateral
Yeah,
move.
that kind of felt disrespectful to me, considering it's a
Yeah.
Division I basketball program going into a conference that cares
Again,
about
if you're
women's
just
basketball.
tuning in, Squaring Around has double the amount of followers that their entire athletics department has on YouTube. Talk to us nice,
Yeah,
everybody.
talk nice to us. Yeah, uh, I would say that that's kind of a no-brainer. I do think it's interesting that the Cleveland State fans, the Viking fans, I want to say, I think that's what they
Yeah,
are.
Vikings.
Are as like connected to this coach as they are, which is great. You love it when you take a coach from someplace and that fan base is very disappointed that they're leaving, versus a coach leaving to a new school and the fan base is like, "Yeah, good riddance." So that gives me a little bit of an insight on
Yeah, he is.
what
I don't know if you read the whole thing
Press
that the
release.
athletics department came out with, but I was kind of just peeking at it, and some names kind of popped up to me too. Specifically, and you guys know there's the only other team in my life that I love so much. Lane Lord, UTRGV, high praise for this guy, and it's exactly what you said. He was at Cleveland State for 8 years. He's going to be incredible and an active member in the San Marcos community and will be a great asset for the athletics department and Texas State University. There's some high praise also from the Gonzaga women's head coach. A lot of high praise pretty much everywhere that he's been, different people that he's worked with. When you're looking at this hire, because last week we sat here and we were like, honestly, guys, couldn't give you a short list of candidates if we wanted to. We don't really know what we're looking for. I think both you and me were also lamenting the loss of Coach Z. You and I were very close to her. I talked to her maybe a week ago, just kind of touching base. I know you're also very close with the other coaches on the coaching staff too. So that kind of hit us heavy, and I think that's maybe what we were dealing with, and we kind of just wanted to take ourselves out of it.
It's that, but I also will say that it's kind of, you're at a juncture for Texas State athletics when you talk about putting money into programs, because the money needs to go to the teams that are going to make you the most money in return, revenue generating sports. Women's basketball historically has not been that. So like what does that coaching search look like? How connected are you? I do like that they went outside of the state of Texas to get a hire here. I know a lot of people, myself included, thought they would do internal hire, internally meaning in the state of Texas, because that's where the recruiting pool has been. But Texas State is looking at this move to the Pac-12 as this is more of a national move. Like, this is a move that they want to continue to touch base with a bunch of different places.
But do you remember? I mean, we could talk about the Spavital hire. We could talk about the mini coaching hires, right? When Texas State looks for somebody on a national level, sometimes that feels like press language to me. This time it truly did feel like, oh, okay, we need somebody that's going to take us to the Pac-12. And not only that, what Kelly says in this press release is that we want to join the league and then be able to compete for titles immediately. That's the
Yeah.
exact language.
Which is very doable. We've talked for a long time about Texas State raising the flag, raising the banner, and I don't care about regular season championships. I want to win a Pac-12 title now when it comes to winning the tournament, getting into the NCAA tournament. So you also, if you've watched women's basketball this March and you've seen how competitive those top programs are in comparison to the programs that they're playing those first two rounds of the tournament, it's night and day. So the goal for Texas State in year one needs to be competitive in the Pac-12. Year 5 needs to be, do we have competition to actually play the A&Ms of the world, to compete against a TCU team that was really good this year, national championship contender. Texas, #1 seed in their bracket. Like, there's gap between the very, very great schools, the good schools, and the schools that can win the Pac-12 is monumental. Huge gap there. So you need to come in year 1 and just be like, hey, can we win in the Pac-12? And I think this coach can do it.
Well, I told you over the weekend, again, if you didn't watch our Sunday episode, check it out. Still some relevant information. But I was telling Andrew that I was listening to a podcast, and there was a guy who was saying that you're just like one win away from anything. You know, perpetually, it feels like women's sports is that moment right now. Like, there's so many things that are happening right now in women's sports. There's a lot of eyeballs. There's a lot of money-making opportunities. There's a lot of things going on. We have one good season at Texas State. Who effing knows? You know what I'm saying?
we would know, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's true. Granted, too, I mean, as the only podcast that covers women's sports on on Texas State.
At
we also
this
know
level,
that
yeah,
when we
for sure.
do cover women's sports, not a lot of eyeballs. So if you're not locked into the women's basketball team, now's an incredible time to lock back in. The last time we had like a head coaching search, we made this podcast. Shout out GJ Kinney. So
Yeah.
I mean that's kind of like our prerogative is we watch these things, we get the fans to react, we get the inside scoop. I'm not going to blow up the spot, but I was talking to Kelly last night till like 2 a.m. Name another university president that you could talk to at that time about certain things like this.
Are you going
Kind
to
of
divulge
incredible.
some of that?
Kind of incredible. No, I don't want to blow up the spot, but I was talking to him. And he was just like singing Coach Killsmeyer's praises, basically. Like, this guy's a proven winner. Really excited for you guys to meet him. I said, hey, can't wait to have him on the pod. That's what I truly care about. I want this guy on our show doing our things with us so we could talk the thing that everybody wants to talk to us about. You know what I'm saying?
Hashtag content.
Hashtag
That's what you're looking
content,
for.
exactly. Yeah, and I did a thing for work. I tweeted it out. My work wants me to do all these little videos and stuff. So when I can do kind of cross content with
We
this
pivoted.
show,
We pivoted
my
back
stuff,
to video.
Boom.
Some
I
things
am
never
literally a
change.
TV producer. So
Some things never change. You know, the pivot back to video. We went from writing to video, and then from video to podcast. Now we're going back to video. All I'm saying is if you are a gorilla trainer in any zoo in America, keep an eye on those kids. Because the last time that we pivoted to video, Harambe got killed. So just keep an eye on where those kids are. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's time's a flat circle. We just keep doing the same thing over and over again.
dude, that's the thing. It's like, you know, when Trump said everything's computer, kind of is.
Everything is content.
Everything is
Everything's
content.
Yeah.
Now, you know.
So
So shout out to Coach Killsmeyer. Welcome to San Marcos.
Now, can we talk about the big? So there's two big parts to this to me.
Yeah.
Part A is the on-court performances, and from what everybody has said and what you read, and you talk about the like 80% winning percentage throughout his 26-year career, all this stuff. Like, on-court, completely fine. Off-court, we need to talk about what Coach G brought, the intangibles of like being connected to the San Marcos community. She is the most San Marcos coach we might have had. Like, she was in the community.
Yeah. I mean, it helps that she was there for 15 years too, and then
That
her
part
coach-
too, and her
her
kids
husband
went-
at one time too was also the wide receivers coach.
Well, and our kids were in those schools, so it's like
Kids still are in the schools.
yeah. So it's like there's that part too. That how connected can you be to San Marcos if you're a coach here? Because the buy-in from the San Marcos community when it comes to football, when it comes to baseball, like there are people who go to Texas State games who did not necessarily graduate from Texas State. The rare T-shirt Texas State fan. We don't get a lot of those. So if you can connect to this community, if you can
No,
go
and if
to
you are a T-shirt Texas State fan, I have been known to run you off.
yeah.
My apologies, guys. You know what? Circle the wagons. Run it
And
back.
if you can go to a San Marcos High women's or girls basketball game, if you're the coach of the women's basketball team at Texas State, if you can make those type of connections to the community, like I do think that goes a far way. Also, you were in the shadow, and it happened very quickly. UT women's basketball is really, really stinking good. I know I've talked about it too much on this podcast. You're in a little bit of a shadow there too. How can you go in and like make those type of moves? If you remember, Texas State did a really good job with the Holly twins. They went in, they got Brooke, they got Bailey. And then Shea Holly ended up going to UT, which made sense for her at that time. Her parents went there, so it's all good there. But I'm just saying, like, you went in, you got two really good athletes out of the Austin area. This is an area, the I-35 corridor, which has continued to grow, fastest growing area in the country. Women's basketball is very popular right now. This is really important if you go and recruit in that area. So that's the off-the-court stuff that doesn't get talked about probably nearly enough.
It's truly like what happens when the iron is hot. You have to strike, right? This is Texas State striking when the iron is hot right now, you know? So,
Yeah.
no feelings. We care about wins. We've had time to lament the loss of Coach Z. That happened actually in early March. This month has been forever long. Happy April 1st, everybody. No April
Yeah.
Fools around here, I promise. No jokes.
Yeah. I hate April Fool's Day, by the way.
And on the men's basketball side of things, Caden Gums coming back, DJ Hall coming back, Terrence Johnson coming back, baby.
Yup.
Hashtag now, part 3.
Hashtag Wendy's, 4 for 4.
I swear to God, if we use that hashtag again for the 4th year in a row, I'm gonna have some questions.
But I will say again, you talk about a coach who was on the hot seat a little bit, kept all of his guys. Like everybody you wanted him to keep, he kept. So that's really big.
Then his
And
recruiting class is still
Yeah.
intact. The reason Texas State kept him is because of his recruiting class.
it's that, but it's all like again the retention of these players. Like you mentioned, Caden
He's
coming
a
back too.
players coach, probably the biggest example of a players coach that we've ever seen at Texas State. These guys
Well-
love this guy. You remember when he got COVID and he
Yeah.
couldn't be at the game and they won and he drove up and they started spraying his car with water and he
Yeah.
was partying in the car and then he took off his shirt and then it was awesome.
I don't remember the shirt off part, but yeah,
Remember
for
that?
sure, 100%.
You remember it was like this season too that he took off his shirt and he was dancing with all the guys. Locker room.
A lot of shirt off. I don't remember those shirt off moments. Jacob is like locked
Hashtag
in.
some things you never forget, buddy.
Okay, well, anyway,
Somebody's got to watch this, and I'm on it. I'm on the case.
you're on the shirt off coach should watch. Okay, good stuff.
I mean, honestly, their office is right by a river. We're going tarps off like at least half the time, right?
if you're the Texas State basketball coach, sure.
If you're a men's basketball coach, yeah, I expect you to.
Danny Casper didn't take his shirt off. Look where he's at.
Exactly.
Kind of tells
Just
you
saying.
everything you need to know. Everything you
Correlation,
need to know.
causation. 6'7".
6'7". Kind of makes sense. Yeah. Also, so TJ is able to keep most of his guys. Which is great. Pac-12 basketball continues to do wonders. I don't know if you saw there's all these different accounts that put out like rankings, and they ranked all like I think like 200 Division I basketball programs, and they had like them in the tiers where it's like S tier, elite, good program.
Like super,
And
we're talking about Super Smash Bros. Character list now.
And
Yeah.
I went all the way down, and like Sunbelt basketball for the most part's been really bad for a while. But like it was interesting to kind of see like where they put Troy, where they put Texas State. Texas State they had them listed as like awful program. For like Troy they said bad. It's like okay, I feel like the gap there. I don't know how much of a gap there is, but that's whatever. Utah State, good basketball program. Gonzaga, elite basketball program. So these men's basketball programs in the Pac-12, you don't need us telling you. You already know they're really good. So TJ Johnson has a long way, I would say, to get to that level of the Utah State and the Gonzagas of the world. But if you come in, I don't know, 5th place in the regular season, and you make a little bit of a run in the tournament, I don't hate it. I feel like pretty good. The non-conference schedule this year will be really interesting for Texas State men's basketball because the last year's conference schedule was doo-doo dog shit. So I need you to be a little bit better to prep the guys.
The latest entry on Coach Chris Killsmeyer's, I'm just saying the name over and over again so I don't trip it up later. You know, I'm trying to commit this to memory. Coach Killsmeyer's resume or curriculum vitae, which we don't have because we're not academic folks, but I just updated my resume, so it's fresh on my mind. But the latest entry on his is taking his Vikings to the WNIT and finishing in the Great Eight. I didn't know that WNIT had a Great Eight. Thought it was also.
Well, they can't say Elite Eight. It's trademark.
That's all trademark? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Didn't know that until yesterday. But anyway, took his team to the Great Eight. Who did they lose to? The Arkansas State Red Wolves.
You sent that to me. Yeah, you sent that to me. That was a tough look. Hold on. Put this one up.
hang on.
Everything
I got
Texas
you,
State.
I
You
got
saw
you.
this?
Yeah, I just saw this. Shout out to our guy, Everything Texas State.
Last night, play-by-play on KTSW had a younger version of Zimmel doing color commentary. I was baffled by the similarities. Now, this is what's interesting, because if there's a kid that I'm thinking about, I got to go back and listen. I got to go find this. We got to
I
find a
enjoyed
way
the
to get
stream, but
through
I
it.
heard a few people complaining about it. I'm in a couple Bobcat group chats, and they were like, "Man, I'm struggling on this radio stream." But I listened to the first 6 innings, and then we kind of blew a lead, and then
Yeah.
I had to get a little serious at work. So that was like 2 hours left, and then right before showtime for me, the Bobcats made things interesting and got up 8-9, and then Texas ended the game 10-8. So shout out to the University of Texas. I said it last week. I was the first person. I don't know why D1 baseball or all these other people that keep these polls haven't ranked the Longhorns at number 1. I was the first person to say they're the best team in the country. Book them to win the World Series this year. Honestly, they're so
All
good.
right, now relax. It takes a
True. Who's
ton of
ahead of
luck.
them? UCLA.
It takes a ton of luck to win in Omaha. We just need to pump the brakes. Like, don't
I
crown
think
them
they're
champs
so damn
yet.
good.
Don't crown champs yet.
You
Just
know what I'm doing?
relax.
This is really just a jinx. That's
No, it's a
what I'm
reverse
doing.
jinx. It's a reverse jinx for sure. No, they're really good. And losing yesterday to UT the way that they did is kind of fine. You saw I sent a tweet to Jacob earlier this week about the back and forth between UT and Texas State, where it's like UT, I think, was 0-5 at one point at home against Texas State. Baffling. We kind of knew
Yeah,
that.
shout out all the occupied left field guys. Were low key afraid of last night because they don't win midweek games against us.
Yeah. No,
And they
no,
haven't. Like,
yeah.
in the past decade, as Andrew was saying on Sunday's episode. Go ahead and check it out. Again, my fault. We recorded late, but hey, we went through kind of all this stuff too.
Yeah, so I saw what I wanted to see out of Texas State last night. I thought that this is a team that consistently has been getting better, which is very important. It does snap a 7-game win streak, but I feel like the panic level has gone back down. It was in red, it's now in yellow. I'm not nearly as worried about this team as I was, say, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
and maybe
nice
that's just the
yellow.
way that this season goes. It's just up and down.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they still are making some fielding errors that you don't want to see. And against Texas, like that's how you turn like a. I think it was a 3-3 situation. Again, 2-out situation, which this team has struggled with for the past 2 years, and then that middle relief, you just like, it's kind of painful, honestly. Sometimes in this rotation.
One last thing on the younger Zimmel thing. I'm too young to already have copycats. Like that needs to be. We need to start putting that in the brains.
Flashing it
Here.
up again.
We gotta relax on this because I am way too young for people to be like, he reminds me a lot of a younger Zimmel. Like, whoa. What does that mean?
Yeah. I like the stream, honestly. First, number
Yeah.
one, it's free. I love free content. And this is me going to lambast for a second because I am still an advisory committee member for the University Star. This is what I was talking to Colton, too. But the journalistic experience in San Marcos is at least half or honestly maybe 60 to 70% student driven. Like students are for the most part covering these teams and covering these things that happen in San Marcos. And most of the journalists that you love now were student journalists. I mean, like 99%.
Like, probably. The love is a strong word. I think most people tolerate me, let alone love the content.
I was not talking about you. To call what you did in college journalism is an affront to the industry itself. But I'm just saying,
not wrong. Not wrong.
Some of these kids are going to go on to do really cool things. It's really cool to see
And
them.
some
at
of them
this
might turn
level.
into Zimmel.
And some of them might turn into Zimmel. Zimmel had his moments where he was breaking stories too.
Yeah.
Did he want to do it? And was he forced to do it by me? Yes. But hey,
Somewhat. Yeah.
that's how the
We
cookie
did.
crumbles.
Hey, we
baby.
did break the Everett Withers news.
Yeah, we did.
Thank you for.
And I chased down Larry Ties through a tunnel.
Yeah, thank you for
That was-
texting me, girlfriends of players. Number one sources.
Yeah. Shout out to going squaring with the boys on all the teams, like basketball,
Everyone.
football, baseball.
Doesn't get better than that.
Doesn't get better than that. Truly. That's how we learned to cover this team. So I'm sure those guys are having similar student experiences. It's really cool just to travel with the team and cover the coaches, cover the players. That's how you really get to build relationships. That's how we're so close with Coach Trout, Coach Woodard, Coach, I was going to say Spav, but not really anymore, I guess.
I think I still have his number.
You have Spav's number? You
Yeah.
shoot him a text?
I tried to call him one time.
You tried to
Straight
call him on this
voicemail.
pod, I think.
Yeah, I went straight to voicemail.
Womp,
Womp, womp.
womp, womp. So baseball, you're satisfied? You're a satisfied customer now?
Yeah, it's weird that a loss I'm okay with, but I am. I'm just like, hey, this is a good team, and we'll continue to roll into the weekend and feel okay. Like
Yeah.
the Sun
Play
Belt.
Georgia Southern. We should whoop their ass, honestly. They're not that
Well, the last time we did this, we got swept. So I'm not going to do that. But I will say that it is a winnable series for Texas State, and the Sun Belt this year, through the first month of action, has felt gettable in a lot of ways.
The only thing I feel I have a single qualm about is that, hang on, let me look up SBC baseball standings as well. is that they have kind of faltered on Thursday games. You know, Thursday kind of shakes your whole lineup up, but they don't want to play on Easter Sunday, so that's why everything's moved up the way it is.
Yeah. It's almost like it almost feels like two midweek games.
Yeah,
You only
I mean,
have,
it
you
is,
have
for all intents and
Wednesday
purposes.
off, Thursday you play, Friday you play, now Saturday you play.
Here are the standings as they lie. Texas State still in second place, right behind Coastal Carolina, who's a
Yeah,
perfect
it's such a good
9-0
program too.
in conference play. Georgia Southern, as I was saying, is horrible. So
Yeah,
and
but
Georgia
like,
State, we were like, wow, we really did a number on Georgia State. Yeah, we're playing literally PE teachers, guys. Come on, have some respect.
not wrong.
I mean, come on, do something right. So I mean, if the season ended tomorrow, which it won't, but we're entering the conference tournament as a second seed, really good. Then you're what, 3 wins away from a regional?
Yeah. Now the Coastal Carolinas of the world are going to be the toughest test, and again, it all comes down to your RPI, but also who's the healthiest come tournament time. If Texas State could just hold off the injury bug, I do think that this is a team that could get into the Sun Belt tournament and feel okay. Like, you did what you need to do in the month of March. Now you come into April, and when you hit May is really when things are going to heat up. Like this month, I always, the saying always goes in Major League Baseball, you can't win the pennant in April, but you can lose it. If you have a really bad month of April, you can fall out of the playoff race, and that's really hard to kind of get back into it. Texas State did what they needed to do in the month of March. April, they just need to continue to put the hay in the barn. Come May, if you're in the same conversation as the Coastal Carolina, ULM is 6-3 as well. I don't think that's going to last, but let's say it does. If you're in the top 3 or 4, you can make some magic happen come tournament time.
If we play the way that we did on Tuesday, next Tuesday against A&M, feel very confident of our chances of beating the Aggies.
If you beat A&M again, that feels really good.
Yeah, that does feel like a get your lick back moment. They're in San Marcos for that one too, so I'm sure the atmosphere is going to be absolutely electric, man.
Did you
and that
make
just
sure that-
proves
you make
too,
sure
that
that,
you really can't
Colton
trust
doesn't
these
wear-
hashtag stat nerds. Because Caleb posted Mark, what's that guy's name? It starts with a W. Either way, he was the starter last night, and he was like, he has a 3.57 ERA. What are we doing? Guess what, buddy? Eat crow. And Caleb Kerbo, that's his last name. But that guy was lights out last night. Threw really well.
Yeah.
Are you going blind, by the way? You have to like hold your phone way up to your face, huh?
First off, it's a small phone. I need to get a new phone. Second off, April Fool's Day, I'm getting text messages from people being like, is this real? It's not real.
I mean, come on. Do better, people. Look at ULM too, by the way. We got spanked over there and everybody was like, what's going on? They might just have a really good program.
Like I said,
This year.
6-3. I don't know if it's going to last, but it feels pretty good right now.
Not too chabby. I was looking at Troy, but yeah, they're kind of at the bottom. But
again, like all of these teams, it shapes up very quickly. Like
Yeah.
if JMU wins their series this weekend, well now they're 7-5, right? Like if South Alabama loses their series this weekend, well now they could be 5-6. So it's just like it's very malleable right now. Talk to me in 2 weeks, you'll have a better clue of who's good and who's not in the Sun Belt.
Yeah, I mean, I think we did this sort of exercise like 2 weeks ago where we just looked at the standings and it was like basically the same, except Texas State was like,
At the bottom.
yeah, exactly. And I still felt the same way about this team that I do now. And we're just at the top now. You know, I think our bats have kind of cleaned things up. Our pitching has been a little bit more solidified. And we're continuing to make some of these fielding errors that have kind of put us in these odd situations to not win some of these higher upper echelon games. But honestly, if we win the tournament in the Sun Belt, one last ride, I don't care what else happens, baby.
It would be so nice. It would be so nice to get that done. Also, I don't know where the RPI stands right now for Texas State. Already having, you're going to have double-digit losses here pretty soon, unless they go on a crazy win streak. On 9 losses already. It's just going to be tough, I think, if you don't win the Sun Belt or make a really deep run in the tournament, to get any sort of at-large bid for the NCAA tournament.
at one point last night when we were leading Texas by like 2 runs, and then there was some rumors that UTSA's Pat Hallmark was getting courted by Grand Canyon University to take over their program. I was like, wow, this is like low key the best thing ever happening
Best
right
baseball
now.
day ever.
Best baseball day ever. Texas State right now is leading UT. Pat Hallmark might be leaving the Roadrunners. This could be awesome. Why not this happen? You know, but it didn't happen. So who knows?
Why not this happen? He said.
Why not this happen?
English, not his first language.
Not, dude. I'm literally eating a taco with nopales and eggs. That's how Mexican I am. Shout out Mexico. Shout out Taco House. Shout out San Antonio.
Tough season for softball. Ricky Woodard gets her 900th win. Scott Woodard puts on Twitter yesterday, I can't wait for number 1,000. That's doable. That is very doable. That's a 3-season, you got to win 40 games a year. But that's a doable get. You can get to 1,000 wins at Texas State, Coach Woodard. Like it's possible. It's right there.
You're right though. It's been tough tomatoes. 22-15 overall. We haven't talked to her really yet. I haven't even been in San Marcos in 2 months. Can you guys believe that?
That's crazy.
I know. It's a sin that I have not confessed yet in confession. This Lenten journey.
Yeah, they have a tough series coming up in Mobile. It's nice.
Wow. They lost the series to Marshall. This is me catching up with softball in real time.
It's not been great. It's not been great. But 900 wins, you feel good. It's possible to get to 1,000. You just got to keep grinding. It's funny because I was the guy that said Karen Chisholm needed to retire like 2 years prior to her retiring because I just was like, okay, I think the Magic's run out. Like, where do we go from here? You're not winning NCAA tournament games. For Woodard, it's very different to me because I feel like the team this year excluded has just been consistent, winning. And I find that, like, I'm not that concerned even about this season necessarily. If you need to have a gap year, you get a gap year if you're a Texas State coach. The problem is you don't get 3 of them. So, like, you get 1. If you struggle this year, it's kind of okay. We would have liked you to win the Sun Belt. We would have liked you to be competitive in the final season. But if you're not, I don't think anybody's going to be super concerned going into the Pac-12.
Well, you like my references, right? On Sunday's episode, shout out also, again, plug in Sunday's episode because we recorded it so late and Andrew was so mad at me. And
I wasn't mad.
We still talked about a lot of good things. But I'm just saying, if you haven't watched that episode, watch it. But I was talking about, like, the stock market of Texas State. I have always said that Coach Ricky Woodard runs her program like a Sith Lord. The rule of 2. We have one pitcher that's really good, Madison Azua. Don't know the other one, really. We always have kind of like a pitcher in waiting.
Yeah. It's nice to have somebody that
like we really the bright spot for this program at this moment in time is Ayanna Coleman. Last year we also had a few players from UT. Had a lot of like heat behind the barrel. We don't really have that this year.
It's nice when you have where it's like, hey, this is a senior and now we have this freshman coming in, or hey, this is a junior and we have this freshman coming in. I don't think Texas State was ever really able to close that gap. Now we're in the position we're in.
I am the Galactic Senate.
There you go.
Shout out to Senator Jar Jar Binks from Naboo, who was the swing vote and decided that all that was going to happen.
The swing, yeah. Worst politician in Star Wars history, Jar Jar Binks. Is Jar Jar Binks the Lindsey Graham of the Galactic Senate?
Who's the Jar Jar Binks of Texas State athletics?
I don't know. That's a good question. I really don't. I don't know. I truly don't know.
That's a good one.
I guess maybe my mini
meditate on it.
Maybe my mini me is the Jar Jar Binks.
Your mini me is Jar Jar Binks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And then I wonder if some people are telling that kid, "Hey, you sound like this guy." He's like, "What?
I hate that guy.
I hate that guy. I never want to be compared to that guy."
Sorry, kid.
But you know what? You become what you fear most in life, truthfully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now I need to go back and listen, though. I need to hit them up and be like, send me the air check.
It was a good call. They did get a little too hyped, I'll say, for Texas just whooping some A on the Bobcats. And I was like, hey, Don't forget who butters your biscuits over here. This is a Texas State broadcast, boys.
All right, well, there you go. See, and that's saying something because Jacob has become a fan of KTSW.
I am, yeah. But I was like, hey, everybody, let's calm down.
Yeah,
Shoemaker? What are you guys talking about over there?
that's who I need to reach out to get the air check.
Oh, Dan?
Yeah,
Schumacher?
that's gonna be the next call I make after we get off this pod.
Yeah, I actually DM'd him during the UT series last year because those kids, I don't know if it's the same duo, but those kids were really good on the call. And I was like, if you guys are entering national awards, do that one. That one's really good.
Cool.
So, yeah.
All right, well, sounds like a good pod. We got a women's basketball coach finally. Baseball's doing what they need to do.
Didn't I
Softball
ask
needs to
you,
figure it
like,
out.
what's the over-under before or after the March Madness tournament that we would actually have a head coach?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be after. And now the Final Four starts Friday. So, gives you an idea.
Shout out Vic Schaefer. He did this whole thing about going turkey hunting this morning.
Yeah.
But I do think UConn's going to win. They look like a WNBA team compared to everybody else.
Well, they play UCLA. UT does.
No, I know,
So,
but I think
yeah.
UConn's going to win the entire thing.
Maybe. I hope not. I hope Texas finally gets over the hump.
I hope not.
I like Madison Booker.
Everything bad for UT is good for Texas State. So that's how I think about it. Do you remember the bad years? Like, we really actually had an opportunity when Texas was, like, not really competitive at anything except swimming and diving to make a big jump. And
We should have got some licks. We should have got some licks. Those weird years in the Big 12, like the 2010s, but we didn't have our house in order, so we couldn't do it.
Yeah. Even on, like, the volleyball side. I mean, volleyball and softball, I think, played them, like, every single year that they went to a regional.
I
And
don't. Yeah.
couldn't do it.
Hit the wall. It's like we're bad compared to like Big 12 teams. You're bad compared to us. It's like, damn,
Tough
they're
to
getting
handle.
bullied and we're getting bullied by the kid that gets bullied. Like that's tough.
That kid just got a swirly. Yeah, and now you're getting one.
No.
Thanks for listening. New episodes out every Thursday. Follow the boys on Twitter. Eat 'em up. Eat 'em up.